Hello and welcome to my sort of stage 1 recap, stage 2 prediction, and what I'll say is a look at how souvenirs are made now and why it's pretty much impossible, even with the lowest tier skin, to make a souvenir. But first, let's do the recap. So, my picks were Game Legion 3-0, Bait 3-0, Bait made it. FlyQuest 03, Gaming Gladiators 03, that happened. Heroic did not advance. Big did today. What a fun day for Big. And Matey made it yesterday, and then MIBR made it yesterday too. BetBoom went 3-0. And then Leonard Under lost yesterday to, I believe, FlyQuest. So let's look at the final standings, as I said. So probably the biggest surprise was probably FlyQuest advancing. I'd say that was the biggest surprise. Sinners ended up going 0-3, not a good look for them. Here we go. Thunder and Under, Heroic. Heroic was also maybe I'd say people were a bit skeptical of them, but I was a bit surprised that they started the tournament 0-2. That was a big surprise. And then Sharks. Sharks they lost to Tyloo 2-1. It was a close game. They had a good thing going on Anubis, but they could not finish it up. And then Lin Vision lost to Tyloo today. Let's look at that score, 13-5. Kind of a blowout game. Liquid destroyed by FlyQuest, especially. And then Anubis game was rough to watch. And then this game right here. This was a game. 0 T rounds from Big, 0 T rounds from Energy. Big go on to win just 16 in a row, which is insane. Oh, here we go. Bait 3-0. They narrowly beat M80. Look at that, 13-11. Then I think it was a triple overtime game. And then BB BetBoom just destroyed Gamer Legion. I don't remember. I want to say I forget who picked what, but I think Gamer Legion picked Ancient. Either way, they got destroyed on Nuke. So I originally had picked BetBoom just to go 2-1 or 3-2, mostly 3-1. I'm sorry, just because the best of ones can be up and down, and they kind of looked a little shaky on in Atlanta. They had some good moments, but they got destroyed by Legacy. And then Navi beat them pretty handily, I think, kind of maybe somewhat close. I mean, if you look at like here, I mean, Liquid lost on Dust 2. I think it was had a bad T side on Dust 2, and Liquid kind of rebounded a little bit on their CT. And then BetBoom just got an amazing draw with Gaming Gladiators, who were playing with Fur as a stand-in. That was an easy 0-3. And considering who they got Big, who Liquid beat in the opening round. That's not good for Gaming Gladiators or whoever's in the N01 bracket against them. And then they played Heroic, who had the better skilled players overall than Gaming Gladiators. And then we look at Sinners lost in overtime, narrowly lost to, I should say, FlyQuest. They then lose 13-6 to NRG. And then Tyloo, who does advance all the way from the 0-2, beats Sinners here. So we go on. So Bait was pretty good. BetBoom was pretty good. M80 beat NRG yesterday to qualify. Let's find that game. Not that close. I don't remember any of these. M80 had some good games on. It was a little bit close on Energy. I forget. Energy won a few rounds in the second half, but I think M80 mostly dominated in some way. And then the same can go for Ancient. And then we have MIBR. They beat Lin Vision very handily, only 7 rounds allowed against Lin Vision. And then Game Religion, it was close against Big. I remember this game was very close. Overpass. Game Religion likes to pick Overpass a lot. And then Ancient, I believe that was probably Big's pick, close there. And then Game Religion, as we sort of elaborated, we'll go over here. The NRG, they beat NRG 13-10, pretty close. They beat FlyQuest 13-11. This probably would have been a good sign that FlyQuest was going to do well. The fact that they were close, played close to Game Religion was pretty good. Then they lost to NRG, who would not qualify. They go down here. They beat Thunder Under in Australia. Anubis was close, but Inferno was a blowout. And then there's FlyQuest right there. We'll talk about that. And then they beat Liquid today. We already went over that. It was pretty bad. Tyloo, they went 0-3. Big, talked to them a little bit. Their path. So I think in general, look at the final standings. They did get 5, as you can probably tell. But for the moment, it's stage 2 time. So I will go to the predictor on hltv.org, and I'll make the predictions there, go through a little bit of analysis on why I think how each sort of scenario should hopefully play out. With now that I'm able to see the tier 1 teams play a little bit, the stage 1 teams, I should say, I can look at a lot of the stage 2. Some of these should hopefully be pretty easy because some of the field is very stacked. So it's going to come down to just best of ones and stuff. But let's head over to the website right now. All right, after a little bit of a delay, it finally loaded. So first off, Spirit, I believe will beat Bet Boom. This Stonk, Zero, Tanier, everyone on that team is very good. Everyone's coming very well together. They've looked very good ever since Satvik, I think is his name. If I got that wrong, I apologize. He's coming to the team. They've looked really good. They even looked good under Halley when they were at Rio. But with this transition from Holly into the new coach, which is kind of a bit sketchy here, because from what I've read on hltv.org, both coaches won't be attending in person for some time. Holly was hospitalized with an emergency medical situation. Prayers to him, and hopefully he can recover quickly. It's from a health perspective, and I guess Suffolk maybe doesn't have a visa that he can attend in person. I don't know. And then Foot versus Bait. Foot has not looked good the past 2 tournaments as they played at Fort Worth and Atlanta. You want to believe that they're going to beat Bait, but I think Bait has looked red hot in stage 1. I think they might be able to ease out a win over Foot in the beginning. I think Game Religion beats Astralis. Astralis does not look the best, and Game Religion's looked very good against Astralis lately in the games that I've been able to watch of those two. G2 versus M80. It's a tough one. I want to say if G2 can get a start on CT on a map like Mirage, Inferno, Nuke, something like that, I really want to give them the edge. But I think it's because they just have better overall players. I think Heavy God's a great anchor. Sampaius has looked very good. He's really coming into a new form they haven't seen for a while. I think if Mattis plays above average, like, +4 on the KD, I think he'll be really good. I think if any of them top 20-ish kills towards the end of towards round 16 or 17, almost midway through a half, close to midway, I think that they're going to win. Legacy, I think, will destroy MIBR. Legacy won. They beat Falcons. They looked really good. Pain versus Tyloo. I think Pain just has better structure than Tyloo. Tyloo took all 4 days to get to this point, and they have no rest. Pain's coming in that's a little bit fresh. I want to say that Monty is big. Their T-sides have not been good. I'm going to pick Monty to beat Big in sort of a not really an upset. And the 9Z, I want to pick FlyQuest, but my heart says to pick 9Z on this one. And then Spirit beats Gamer Legion. I think G2 beats Bait. Legacy beats 9Z. And then this is a toss-up because I've not been able to watch much Monty. I've watched a little bit of Pain. I think Pain will just have that extra LAN experience will help. And I think they've got players like Afro's the Opera of Monty. He's okay. He's not great. I think Safe, who looked really good in Atlanta, I think Pain can beat Monty in that way. I think Foot beats FlyQuest. Astralis will beat Big. I just think their T-sets will just be better in general than Big's. And Astralis will have just as good a T-side as CT side as Big will. So I'm going to go in that direction. Astralis beats Big. Bet Boom will beat Tyloo. And then M80 versus MIBR. Tough one to choose. I'm going to pick... Oof. I think if Insani pops off like he has, they're going to win. Now it's Spirit beats Pain. Legacy beats G2. I'm gonna pick. I think this is what I had. It's similar to what I had with the simulator earlier. Did like a little bit of test run to see if I got my picks right, who would go. Bait versus Astralis. Bait wins. I think I think Foot's gonna get some of that energy and they're gonna beat Gamer Legion. I think MIBR beats Monty. 9Z versus BetBoom. This is the real decision. It's a matter of do we get the 9Z from Astana, as Thorin calls it, or Astana, as I've been calling it for a while, or do we get the BetBoom that was in stage one that did a really good job against some decent teams? I think I think we're gonna get a 9Z that's gonna come into that Astana form that they had, and then M80 I think beats FlyQuest, and then I think this is difficult because both these teams were played yesterday, and it's a matter of who do you think has the hotter hand, and I think it's gonna be. I think I'm gonna. It's difficult because you could see it going either way, but that big magic from today, oh boy, it was so good. Depends on the maps they get. Like if Big gets Dust 2, it's probably will be banned. If they were to get Dust 2, that's an easy one map for Big. They got to work on their T sides. I think I'm gonna go because it is Big is the German team. I'm gonna pick Big. So I've got FlyQuest and Tyloo was 03. This could be big. This could be big. This is more of up to whoever. I think G2 beats Foot. I want to say, let's do Bait 9Z. I think Bait will win. I think I want to give it. You know what? It could be 9Z. At this point, it doesn't really matter who I pick because it is either of these teams could go in. Let's go down to the 03. I think BetBoom beats Estrada. I think Estrada gets knocked out. I think it's fairly simple. Monty versus M80. This is difficult. This is not easy. I think Monty's just gonna have they're gonna pop off a little bit and they're not gonna look too bad. I think M80 you're not gonna they could definitely prove my ass wrong and I would not be mad about that as long as they get my 5 picks. And then Game Religion I think beats Big again. I don't think even like Big to play well again, but their T sides are just so spotty. I think Blame F just doesn't have the pieces or he just doesn't have the know-it-all to do it. And MIBR Pain. I think Pain's gonna sneak this one out. And then I think it's going to be MIBR versus BitBoom. I think BetBoom's going to go. I think 9Z will advance. And then I'm going to put Foot. So my analysis of it is I'm going to have Spirit and Legacy go 3-0. I'm going to have G2, Bait, Pain, BetBoom, 9Z, Foot advancing. And I've got FlyQuest and Tyloo 03. And what sucks is that these are so difficult, as you probably all know, just for the fact that it's best of ones. And so if you just have a really good start on your first tap, and then you win pistol, and you've already had maybe you already have like a 2 round lead at 7-5, and you get the pistol and you convert it, and they 4 spot during your conversion, then everything's just out of whack. It's crazy. But I think right now these are my picks. So let's go put this into the predictor in the game, and I'm going to show you how just plain stupid it is to get souvenirs. Alright, I've made my picks. Let's save them. I technically already saved them before, but that's fine. Gotta get 5 picks right, and then this is the sort of predict stage tree ahead of time. We'll do that off screen. But now let's go to the shop. So right now, because for whatever reason, golds for players that haven't played yet or that have been eliminated are not that expensive. Like a lotto is like $16, hasn't played yet. But if we go to, let's say, Big who won today, a gold for them, there's Big. this is like $270. So let's just select it. This is 200. It's $2,000. There's no way to get this in Steam because the maximum you do is like $2,000. But you're asking, well, how is it happening? You can't do that. It exceeds the Steam balance. What's happening is that if I go back to stage 1, and let's say I wanted to redeem this because it was an amazing match. I want to get a Grix. This is still $2,000. This is $1,000, almost $2,000. This is like $230, and the sticker is $1. Look at this. This was a 98% discount. 98. If I wanted to convert this into a souvenir, it's almost $100. That is insane. And this is like, if not the cheapest, one of the cheapest, it's a light gray. Let's look at it. Okay, it's a light blue. It's one above this. Let's check this out. Let's redeem that. Let's go to stage 1 again. Go to the nuke. Pick the hunting blind. It's $45. It's with a 99% discount. Okay, 42, my bad. But either way, that's insane. To put on a gray, this is a gray, not a light blue. This is a gray skin. I bought this to get souvenirs on it. The fact that it costs roughly $42 with a 99% discount, mind you, is ridiculous. There should have been caps on this. All these stickers are or most of these stickers right now, if they're golds, are unaffordable. Literally unaffordable to anyone. Unless you're on a third party. It's like if you managed to get a big gold before all this bullcrap happened, or any of the nice ones, like let's go to popularity high to low. Doesn't help at all. Let's go to price actually. Price high to low. Look at this. It's ridiculous. Like I said, this is $2,000 over $2,000. This is almost $2,000. This is almost $1,000. Like, who in their right mind is paying for this? And it's because when you buy a souvenir, you are getting it from the shop in a sense, the gold stickers. It's not a separate thing. So this whole system is. I understand why they want to do dynamic pricing. Like, this is ridiculous. How the heck do I get rid of this? Get out of here! I'm not buying that. I can't even afford to buy it. So yeah, you get like 300 tokens to use on stickers, but you can't afford anything. It's like you can probably afford like this one that's expensive still. But this whole system is a mess. There needed to be price caps on this. Because when this crap goes on sale, like this hasn't gone down, I don't know if someone's buying this shit, I don't blame them. But when there will be a sale, and it most likely will be is that they'll give you like 75% more tokens. It'll be cheaper to buy tokens. This is just going to go up again because there's going to be an overinflated currency, these tokens, which means people are going to be buying more stickers in the beginning within like however it takes them to update. Be it, hours, a day, whenever it updates, is that the next time it updates, it's going to skyrocket. And we're going to be back to where we were re the discount. That's just basic economics. Once again, there should have been a price cap on these stickers. I understand that the capsules had issues because it was randomized and it was a loot box. But at least, you could buy a capsule for $1, or you could go on the Steam market and buy like a paper for like 3 cents. That was cheap. Now a paper, like if you go to the Mongols, a paper like it's still cheap here for the Mongols. But if I go to let's say heroic, papers are still cheap, which is great. Foils are generally cheap. That's great. Teams that have been eliminated, their stickers prices are going to go down. That's great. But for other teams, let's pick Vitality. It's like $1. It's like if you got these out of a capsule, you could get these for much cheaper. If I go to Navi, it's becoming a rant, and that's a good thing. Like Navi sticker, $1 for this, and then it's ridiculous. Everything costs too much. But that's my rant. I probably won't be getting any souvenirs for a while just because it costs so much on certain stuff. Oh, I'll ignore that. But for now, let's go back to it. Look at the mess that Valve has made for us. Let's hope that I get 5 right again. If I can get these 2 and then these 2 and I only get one of these, I'm fine. I don't give a shit. But let's see. All I really want is the gold coin, which you need to get 4 more. So that means if I just make 1, 2, and I get 2 more predictions right, and playoffs will be easier because there's less randomization in a way. But for now, I just need to get 4 more, and I'd love to do that. I'll get one of them soon. But thanks for watching, everyone. Hope you found this video helpful and enlightening in how we're getting screwed over by this new major store. But until then, have a good rest of the night. Catch you later for the Stage 3 video. See ya.